Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. My name is Dale McCurry, and I'm the Energy Manager for Santa Ana Unified School District. I'd like to thank you for inviting me to speak here today about our participation in the Prop 39 California Clean Energy Jobs Act. According to the CEC, we were the first school district to close out a project. Our year one is completely closed and audited. Let me review some of the challenges we face in Santa Ana. First, 35% of our district elementary schools exceed the CDE's maximum density. Second, our city is one of the 100 largest cities in the U.S. And third, we have the youngest population per capita in California. Recognizing these challenges, the Santa Ana Unified School District opens and shares many of our school sites with the City of Santa Ana and various local groups. To that end, the district has chosen to replace our old HVAC systems at many sites with new code-compliant HVAC equipment to not only save on utility costs, but to also greatly improve the air quality within the spaces that our students, teachers, and citizens learn and collaborate. In mid-2013, we heard about the Prop 39 program and began planning our projects with that in mind. By mid-2014, the district submitted their first expenditure plan, which was approved in a few short weeks. We went round and round, maybe about a dozen questions back and forth over a 3 or 4 day period, but the process was pretty smooth. We had chosen to replace the worst HVAC clunkers in the district at 3 of our elementary schools at an estimated cost of $1.6 million in hard construction costs. One of these sites was in such poor condition that we were adding Freon to 2 of the units almost every day for the last several months prior to the start of construction. With Prop 39 funds, we were able to clean the ducts at one site, seal the leaky ducts at 2 others, and install energy management systems at all sites, which also incorporated our parking lot lighting. In all, that summer, we replaced 7 multi-zone units and 31 package units affecting over 1,800 students. We bought equipment from 5 different major equipment manufacturers and utilized 8 local contractors to install the equipment. For year 2, we started design while closing out the year 1 projects. This last summer, we completed 10 projects, 6 of which were HVAC, and 4 were efficient controls added to our swimming pool pump systems for a total of $2.1 million in hard construction costs. We probably would not have been able to do the HVAC projects without bundling the pool pump controls into our year 2. With the Prop 39 money, we were able to buy new HVAC units and install EMS at all sites, including incorporating exterior lighting into the new EMS. As a side note to the pool work, all of our pools have seen significant reductions in water consumption, a 50% reduction in the use of chemicals, and reduced wear on the pumps due to lower RPMs during non-use, in addition to the considerable electrical savings. In all this last summer, we replaced 4 multi-zone, 77 package units, and pool controls affecting over 4,500 students. We bought equipment from 5 major manufacturers, and we utilized 9 local contractors. For year 3, we have completed design for 3 more HVAC replacement projects and have submitted them to DSA just before Christmas for an expedited review. We are also planning on replacing some outdated parking lot lighting with new LED lighting and additional controls in order to guarantee that we meet our SIR of 1.05. We will be submitting our expenditure plan in late spring of this year and anticipate the same smooth review process. For years 4 and 5, we are planning on tackling the replacement of all of our parking lot and gymnasium lighting and incorporating it into our EMS system. To the extent that there is any money left over, we will continue with the replacement of HVAC clunkers. There have been many lessons learned. For instance, we have seen that the technology has outpaced the technical training of the installers for the HVAC equipment and the new control systems for pool pumps, while not new technology, has become very intricate in being able to monitor water flows and adjust the chemicals, savings that we had not anticipated. We are in the process of getting our technicians training, but some of this is so new the contractors haven't even been trained on it yet. It has made commissioning somewhat of a challenge on a few of our projects, and we expect to see better savings in the second year of each summer's projects. Would we recommend this path for Prop 39? Absolutely, but districts need knowledgeable staff or must hire expert consultants. We have used consultants who performed our ASHRAE 2 studies, designed each project, and submitted our expenditure plans each year, and have kept the cost down to a little over 7% overall. We bid out and managed each construction project in-house to save the district money that could be used for more projects. We have had a zero change order rate and have completed each project under budget. But more importantly, the program is raising the awareness of how important energy conservation is and how precious and volatile a resource electricity and gas are. How do you place a value on that? I think that Prop 39 will have an enormous impact on shaping future conservation behaviors. We here at Santa Ana have been aggressive in our HVAC replacement and very active in promoting Prop 39 and its benefits to our school district and other school districts in Southern California. Taking into account the weather, we estimate that we have saved in excess of 500,000 kilowatt hours of electricity and over 2,300 therms of gas, while seeing an increased facilities use of between 5 to 14%. We now have our schools open on Saturdays. In 2014, we saw a 4.4% increase in warmer days and a 29.6% increase in 2015. We have found the program to be a tremendous success here at Santa Ana and would like to see it continue. We hope that more schools begin utilizing this program because it works. We thank you for allowing us this opportunity to share our partnered accomplishments that has enabled us to complete these many important projects for our students and community. We would like to encourage the state to continue energy efficiency programs such as these that provide solutions to reduce our demand on the grid and environment, with the added benefit of providing an improved learning environment in our schools and communities.
Thank you very much, sir. And now we go to Terry Ryan with the Salinas City Elementary School District.
Good afternoon, Chairman, and fellow facilities people from schools and the audience. My name is Terry Ryan. I'm actually the Director of Maintenance, Operations, Transportation, and Food Service in a district of 9,000 students. So I'm the little guy at the table with a big hat. For that, I would like to make just a couple of observations. This will be very short and mostly anecdotal. We are participating in Prop 39 in a very significant way with the funding levels that have been established for us. We have a clear vision, special direction, and appropriate resources to get this done. We are using consultants to do our energy efficiency audits and our energy efficiency plans. They have a great relationship with the CEC. That's the good news. The challenge with working through that process is it takes a lot of time, and I'm going to direct a couple of responses to each one of the senators that are no longer here, but that had a concern. Before I go there, Salinas is in Monterey County. That's Senator Canela's district, and we're in a mild climate. And we stepped off we actually did step off the energy grid just before Prop 39 became a program for us to take advantage of. And in the spirit of Senator Hertzberg, we were in front of the ball, and it's running over us right now, and it's costing us money. We installed solar photovoltaic on our dime at every school, and we're generating 85% of our demand right now. We just recently reopened a school, and our district office doesn't have solar. We did that in less than a year. From the start to the finish. We actually commissioned it in February of 2013 when Prop 39 was just coming down the road. So I'm here to say that Prop 39 is a great program. We live in a mild climate. We're generating our own electricity. You heard it earlier this morning. What do we do? How do we get over that hump? And it was Senator Canela that mentioned that, because he's got constituents that are on some really preferable power rate structures. In our case, we're generating all of our own. If there was a legislative a remedy to the situation that we're dealing with in a number of other districts. I saw there weren't a whole lot of PV systems going in out there, but there are a number of us. I know that the City of Pittsburgh School District has done this also, where they're out on PV already. We're looking for some relief. We borrowed $6.7 million. We're a small school district. All of our energy savings, we heard it today, all of our energy savings are paying the loan. We are generating a net positive $60,000 a year on $6.7 million investment. We can buy one teacher salary, beginning teacher, every year for the next 16 years because we went early. If we could get some acknowledgement of that investment through a legislative remedy that addresses either our interest costs, 3.5%, runs about $220,000 a year. We're also paying off the principal. We're not asking you to pay for that. And our maintenance and verification. PG&E requires us to have maintenance and verification. So if you could do anything for those of us out here that have gone early, are off the grid, and are now paying for it all ourselves without any savings going back to the general fund like these brilliant folks did because we went early, those of us out here in the LEAs would really appreciate that. And that addresses Senator Hertzberg's concern. So Senator Welk, she asked how our relationship with the IOU. I need to tell you, on the IOU, we're with PG&E. They have been absolutely fantastic. They fully support this because they have a mandate to save, however it's been developed, either the state or the PUC, however that's happened. So we've got a great relationship. It's working really well. And I'd like to close with the fact that we have a great relationship with the CEC. The only challenge is, if I was talking back to Senator Welk, would be, while the IOUs are very easy to get along with in this case, the CEC's process, we know what the rules are. We know they're extensive. Senator Hertzberg doesn't like them, but that's the program. It's just a little bit of a challenge to get through the whole process, and so we're paying our consultants to do that. Thanks.
Yeah, hi. My name is Jose Nunez. I'm a Vice Chancellor for Facilities for San Mateo Community College District. We're basically located just south of San Francisco, composed of 3 college campuses: Cañada College in Redwood City, College of San Mateo in San Mateo, Skyline College in San Bruno. We basically have 2 million square feet of space, over 300 acres. We serve approximately 50,000 students, and that's broken down between 50% are transfer students and the other 50% are workforce development students. I'm basically just going to share some of the projects that we've been able to do under Prop 39. One of our first year one projects was a solar project, basically a 1.25 megawatt solar installation. Earlier, Senator Hertzberg articulated what is the loading order for particular projects. Well, at San Mateo Community College District, we've done, over the last several years, major energy efficiency projects. Basically, we outfitted or retrofitted 9,000 light fixtures throughout the 3 campuses, 900 air handlers throughout the 3 campuses, resurfaced all of the boilers, added DDC controls. We retrofitted all of our chillers, replaced several hundred pumps, and of course put in an energy management system. With that said, that led us to, of course, the installation of the solar project, the 1.25 megawatts. We actually leveraged about $500,000 of the Prop 39s. The overall project cost was $4.5 million. We happened to take the opportunity for the very last California Solar Initiative dollars that were available, which was about $1 million. So we were able to leverage that. That particular project helped us reduce the electrical demand on that campus by 50% and the electrical cost overall by 60%. Another year one project for us was basically the replacement of all Cañada College and College of San Mateo exterior parking lot and roadway lightings. Basically, that generated about 150,000 kilowatt savings a year. We were able to get $35,000 in incentives from PG&E. Total project cost was about $1.3 million. Basically, it replaced 120 fixtures at Cañada College, 80 fixtures at San Mateo. Advanced lighting controls, building management system integration as well. And let me just add, before I talk about the year 2 and 3 year projects, that with all of the earlier energy efficiency projects that I articulated, we're on the average saving about $2 million of ongoing operational savings. In order to obtain that, we, of course, worked hand in hand with our PG&E, our service provider. We participate actively, as I mentioned earlier, California Solar Initiative, Prop 39, Savings by Design for all of our new construction projects, and then, of course, with the California Community College Chancellor's Office, independently owned utilities, so that, we're at San Mateo Community College District, we look at where we can get dollars, if you will, to help leverage our projects. For our year 2 and 3 projects, as a combined projects, that's where we're going to basically finish what we started with the year 1 projects in terms of our exterior lighting, which for Skyline College is the replacement of all exterior lighting, converting them over to LED. Basically, that's parking, roadways, pedestrian pathways, and all wall packs. We're able to leverage about $1 million of Prop 39 fundings for that, and basically it's complete replacement advancement of about 1,200 fixtures.
Now, let me just interrupt you there. When you say leverage the funds, you're saying you're using other funds.
That is correct.
We are.
To enhance Prop 39.
Absolutely.
So in a project, let's say, just arbitrarily speaking, of $10 million, how many of that would be Prop 39 funds?
In my particular case, $800,000. That's our allocation per FTES.
Okay, so
In fact, our year 1 was about $800,000. Our year 2 was reduced to about $750, and I can't remember correctly. And
so are you using my $10 million figure, or is that the actual number, $800 million that you received? And how much of the additional funds were that, we're talking about lots of investments to your facilities that are not just energy efficiency, but other else, but you're pulling them all together to make the projects more
using
financially.
local bond dollars, CCIOU, CCIOU
Let's say
partnership.
in a one-year period, how much are we talking
From
about?
Prop 39, for me, in a one-year period, again, as was articulated earlier, it's getting reduced every year. My first year was 800. The second year was like 750. Our next allocation is probably about 725,000.
And in a one-year period, how much additional funds were matched with that?
It depends on the particular project. Let me go back.
Give me just an example.
So, for
General,
example,
very general.
for the solar project, that project was 1.3.
Okay, so just generally,
Go
we're
back. The
looking
solar
at,
project was a $4.5 million project. Of that, $500,000 was Prop 39.
Okay.
And $1 million of that was California Solar Initiative.
okay, so we're looking at a good pool of funds here in the Salinas case.
50%. We're using it just like school construction because we're buying down the SIR. In order to get to 105, we're putting money in.
You're taking advantage of your consultants and your architects and your engineers.
In a
and
very major way.
everything, okay? Makes-
Totally. So again, that was year 1, the solar, year 1 for partial exterior lighting, year 2 and 3, as I just mentioned. $1 million of that is a Prop 39 because that's 2 years that are combined, year 2 and 3. Now, just in terms of process, and my facilities colleagues will articulate, for us, we normally develop the scope, we identify the potential bidders, we establish a budget, we ID the delivery method, we try to, as was articulated earlier, leverage, the funds that are available. We begin a bid, RFQ process. We incorporate and fine-tune specifications, and of course, we issue an RFQ and set it out. Always looking at where we can save money. Some of the challenges that we've had with Prop 39 is identifying quality projects, scoping the project, and completing the Prop 39 administrative steps. They're pretty okay right now. At the onset, at year 1 and year 2, it was somewhat problematic. And basically, we were not we, but the Chancellor's Office and the management team with our consultant was learning as you go. But right now, it's pretty well. Prop 39 really isn't that much money for a large project. You heard many folks earlier on talk about air handlers, boilers, and things of that nature. Those projects, they cost a lot of money. And depending on what your allocation for Prop 39, you might not be able to use all of your Prop 39. In my case here, the examples I gave, I was leveraging local bond dollars and other incentive dollars. The timeline for Prop 39 is tight, and of course, depending on where you're located, staff is a big issue. And then finally, in terms of year 4 projects, I've articulated, I've done a lot of energy efficiency. I'm getting into generation right now. For us, our next 4-year Year 4, Prop 39 project, we're basically going to do a monitoring-based commissioning project, where I've spent $2.5 million, not Prop 39, to put in meters for all of our buildings. And by meters, I'm talking about to monitor kilowatts, therms, water, waste, and things of that nature. Our intent is now to leverage these next Prop 39 dollars to go ahead and see what is our consumption, where are the problem areas, so that we can do and rectify those particular areas, repair, or in some cases, it's just scheduling. And with that, that kind of summarizes the information I have.
Thank you. We'll move on to Pablo Manso.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. I'm Pablo Monza, the Associate Vice Chancellor of Facilities for the Los Rios Community College District. As you know, serves the greater Sacramento area. We're the second largest community college district in the state and the fifth largest in the nation, serving approximately 85,000 students. As we enter into year 4 Proposition 39 funding, the Los Rios Community College District is in the midst of delivering over $4.6 million in just the first 3 years of the program. These projects include basic and advanced lighting controls, LED retrofits, ancillary cooling systems for instructional spaces and IT server rooms, variable speed drives for air handler units serving classrooms and offices, updated energy management systems, improved fume hood controls and ventilation systems in our science classrooms and laboratories, and advanced cooling systems in our computer and IT facilities. It is projected that in the first 3 years alone, we will save the district over $378,000 annually in electrical costs, which equals a 7.2% reduction in our energy costs in electricity alone, and another $86,000 in natural gas costs, which is an 8.5% reduction in our current cost of natural gas. Aside from the direct reduction in energy usage, we are also seeing many other benefits. For example, because we are able to use Prop 39 funds to better manage and operate our high energy use systems such as HVAC and lighting, we can now reduce the total number of hours these systems operate. This will in turn greatly reduce equipment wear and tear and extend the life of our major systems, ultimately saving taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars. Also, Prop 39 also allows us to employ newer building system technologies that by their very nature are less expensive to maintain and operate, such as LED lighting systems. Prop 39 has also allowed us to access Portfolio Manager, the automated system used by the State Chancellor's Office to monitor our energy usage and energy utilization index. We can now more closely monitor our total energy use by campus location, of which we have 4 main campuses. We can use this as a tool to not only identify anomalies in our energy usage, but we can also use it to help us develop future Prop 39 projects to address problematic areas based on accurate, up-to-date usage data. Needless to say, we are excited about how beneficial the results have been in the first 3 years of the Prop 39 program. I ask that the legislature continue to support the program that not only keeps California in the forefront of sustainability, but also helps us provide facilities that improve and enhance the educational mission of our state's community college system. In our role as good stewards of the environment and educators, Prop 39 has allowed us to talk and walk the walk, setting an example to others nationally and globally, but most importantly to our students who will carry the torch long after we're gone. Prop 39 works.
Thank you very much. I want to thank you for being here. I think this was a very good snapshot of the implementation side. One thing that wasn't mentioned was the amount of time and cost that it takes on the transparency side, producing this data. I was very impressed by the amount of data that was presented today on jobs, on contracting, on spending, on where the money is going. And many times, I think it's not appreciated here fully, the amount of cost that it takes to do that. Transparency is very expensive, and we can see that this program, in trying to be transparent, has a cost. The advisory board has a cost to make sure that citizens have an oversight role in this process. And I know your boards take time in reviewing your programs individually with at the educational level through that level of citizen oversight. So we're really looking at, it's not only the Senate's role and the Assembly's role here in the legislature to review this, or at the commission level or the workforce partnership, or at the, everybody at their level is providing their level of oversight. and they're also at their level compiling this information. And it was wonderful to have the opportunity to present this information to the public, because oftentimes people want to just be critical without really appreciating the amount of time and the effort that goes into implementing this program. That's not to say that we shouldn't ask questions and that we should, request more information to the extent that it's within our capacity to do so and our responsibility to do so. I think, again, transparency is very important, but I hope people take the opportunity to use this data and not simply, just say, oh, look at the amount of time that's transpired, what a waste, but look and see, what the amount of attention that it took to get this program started, and in a way that's that hopes and intends to make these improvements in our communities and see them have real impacts. We can rush into something and then suffer the consequences later, or we can do it right. And I have a lot of confidence that we've got a good start to this program. I would like to see more people in the community participating. I talked about the Conservation Corps, and I think you guys can help make that happen at the local level. And also seeing, the underserved districts get some aid as much as they need, because, again, this could really help with a lot of the work that needs to be done for those areas. So thank you again for your participation. I want to thank Jay Dickinson, my consultant, for putting together this amazing calendar that I think has done a pretty good job at creating a really good understanding. Nydia Bautista's here as well. And Melanie Kane, I don't know where she is, but thank you to our staff for putting together this great very, very informative hearing, and to the members that participated and asked poignant questions. That was also very helpful. We're going to now take the time to open up the mic to the public, to people in the community out there if they want to make some public comments. Now is your opportunity to come forward and share your thoughts, concerns, opinions, any requests that you might have of the state government to follow up on anything that you desire, beginning with ma'am.
Good afternoon, Chair Wezzo. I won't take up a lot of time. We've all been
State your
here,
name,
and
please.
It's Ana Ferreira with the School Energy Coalition.
Okay.
We represent schools up and down the state, public schools and their associates, all focused on energy efficiency and renewables for California students. We're going to be providing detailed comments to the committee, and your staff has been terrific about listening to some of our concerns. I would just make 3 quick points. The first is that school districts and county offices and charter schools all have to work around students, and that's what this is all about, and teachers. So when you talk about the length of time it takes to do projects, that is also overlaid on everything else with, engineers, planning, all of that. We have to work mainly in the summer, but also holidays to get these projects done. So on that note, I would just also ask that you take a look, and I'll give you some information about how to get the allocations out maybe a little bit faster from the time that the July data is available to when it's actually the allocations are listed for schools. We certainly would appreciate that. I will reinforce the issue about rates. Rates can impact not only meeting the SIR requirement, but also at the back end, if rates go up, then we're also looking at what the final outcome is for the promise that we've made to the state. So rates are also very important when it comes to determining what those projects' results are going to be. Finally, with the Citizens Oversight Board, we would just ask that whatever process they're going to be using to look at those final reports, that they let us know as soon as possible. Schools are in the middle of doing these projects. They're trying very hard to track, and the CEC has great tools to do that with. But if there's going to be some other audit process that we need to be aware of, transparency, consistency, all of that is going to be very important. So that is it. Thank you so very much for your work on this issue.
Thank you. Great comments. I appreciate that very much. Anyone else? Well, we're going to wrap up this hearing. We're going to adjourn now, and thank you, everybody, for your participation.